Compton, Los Angeles, 1988.
A symbol of urban crisis, poverty, violence, and police brutality.
But out of all this chaos and disorder came one of the most influential rap albums of all time.
It put West Coast hip-hop on the map and turned the likes of Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, DJ Yella and MC Ren into household names.
This is the story of Straight Outta Compton by NWA.
Just before we start though, Jack, I did have a question. What does NWA actually stand for?
Oh, you know what? Don't worry about that. Welcome to One More Music Pod.
Hello and welcome to One More Music Pod. We are back, Jack.
We are indeed.
And we are looking at a very influential album today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Straight Outta Compton by NWA.
Yes, what an album this is. Kind of helped define hip-hop for the next 30 years, didn't it?
Yeah.
And gave us the likes of Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. I can't wait to get into this one. But first, though, just before we start, it's becoming a bit of a tradition on the podcast now. We've got another tedious link from friend of the show, Steve.
Yeah, One More Music Pod link, Steve.
Anyway, the idea is the last episode was all about Block Party's Silent Alarm album, and Steve's found us a little tedious link that links that to Straight Outta Compton by NWA. So it's kind of one of those 6 degrees of separation sort of thing. So
buckle up.
Yeah. So Block Party frontman Kelly Okereke has cited Lupe Fiasco as a collaborator and admirer. Lupe has sampled the Block Party track Positive Tension in some of his live performances. And Lupe Fiasco has in turn collaborated with Pharrell Williams on a number of occasions. And, of course, Pharrell Williams is one half of the record production duo The Neptunes. And the Neptunes have produced music for countless artists, including Ice Cube, a founding member of NWA.
Wow.
There we go. Yeah.
Fair play, Steve.
Yeah.
It's back. back with a big one. How long do these take, Steve, to work out?
Yeah, I
unless he's got, like, peak music knowledge and he just knows that.
Yeah.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah. I imagine he must spend hours doing this.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. And he's getting like really irate and really kind of like angry that he can't get one. Putting more work in than we are.
Yeah.
Which is a good one. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. If anyone else would like to contribute anything to the show, reviews, links like that, jingles, make us a jingle, that'd be great. Drop us an email, onemoremusicpod@gmail.com. NWA formed in 1986 in the city of Compton, Los Angeles. Originally a Methodist colony founded in 1867. Compton was then developed into a small farming village before evolving into a residential suburb within LA County. By the 1980s, Compton was a city in turmoil. Unemployment and poverty were rife, along with gang violence and drug epidemics. Police brutality also became an increasing issue, with tensions rising between the city's black community and local law enforcement. This backdrop would fuel NWA's creative output, shaping the music that would later make them global icons.
The group was formed under the leadership of Eric Lynn Wright, better known as rapper Eazy-E, a former drug dealer turned entrepreneur, who used his resources to start Ruthless Records. He enlisted the production talents of Dr. Dre, then known for his work with the world-class Wrecking Crew, and recruited Ice Cube, an emerging local rapper. The addition of DJ Yella and MC Ren completed the group's lineup. Kim Reynard Nasal, aka Arabian Prince, was also a founding member and appears on the Straight Outta Compton album cover, but left the group shortly before its release.
The group's debut record, NWA and the Posse, gave the group some moderate success in 1987. Though not a groundbreaking release, it laid the foundation for what would come next, their 1988 album Straight Outta Compton, that propelled them into the national consciousness.
Straight Outta Compton marked the beginning of a new gangster rap era, as the production and social commentary in the lyrics were revolutionary within the genre. More on this later.
Fun fact, if you visit lahoodlifetours.com, you can book yourself on a guided tour around the streets of Compton. The tour is hosted by Big Mike and shows you round the streets of Crenshaw, South Central, the projects, and of course Compton itself. It also says on the website that the tour takes place in a discreet, blacked-out, bulletproof SUV. So maybe discretion advised if you're thinking about booking. But then it does have a 5-star rating on TripAdvisor.
I'm out. Anything that needs a bulletproof vehicle, I'm out.
Yeah, not worth it, is it?
No, not worth it.
No.
So, Jack, I thought on that, what would our rap names be?
Ooh, good question. I could be J Dizzle, J Unit,
Okay.
Big J,
Small J.
How about you? What do you think yours might be?
A Money.
Yeah.
Baldy B. The Receder.
Oh, yeah, good
It's
one.
quite ominous, that one, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's quite scary, that one. Big Cock.
So, straight out of Compton, the album was released on August the 8th, 1988, and recorded at the Audio Achievements studio in Torrance, California, and released on the Ruthless Records label.
Produced by Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, DJ Yella and Arabian Prince. Charted at 35 in the UK and 37 in the US. Sales to date, around about 3 million copies sold worldwide and streamed 1.3 billion times as of November 2025.
So, the first track on the album is Straight Outta Compton. It serves as a powerful, raw introduction to the realities of life in Compton and a declaration of West Coast identity. Interestingly, initial critical reception was mixed for this song, with some dismissing it as regressive nonsense or not even real music. Others, however, recognised it as a powerful, albeit unsettling, audio documentary of ghetto life and a work of righteous fury.
The music video for Straight Outta Compton was banned by MTV shortly after its release in 1989. The group was upset by this, as they hoped the video would help them reach a wider audience, but the ban and resulting media coverage only added to their rebellious mystique and helped publicise the album further.
The raw authenticity of the song and album resonated strongly, particularly with black youth who identified with the struggles depicted. It forced the wider American public to confront the realities of poverty, gang violence and police brutality in inner-city communities that were often ignored.
Ironically, an estimated 80% of the album's sales were to white suburban teenagers who were fascinated by the unfiltered reality rap view of a world far removed from their own.
I think one of the other big hits off this album is, of course, Fuck the Police.
Yeah, bloody pigs, eh, Jack?
Eh?
The pigs, stick it to the system.
Adam, can you just talk about the song, please?
Fine. I love the themes in this song. It really plays out like a courtroom hearing. A sharp piece of satire that digs into police harassment, profiling and systemic injustice.
Yeah, exactly. So each rapper essentially testifies in this song, drawing from their own lived experiences growing up in and around Compton. The whole thing was designed to be provocative, and of course their Detroit show in 1989 became infamous. They barely made it 30 seconds into the track before things went wild. Some reports even claim that fireworks were set off inside the venue, causing chaos, the group bolting off stage and straight into waiting police officers.
A brilliantly hard-hitting track in every sense, and musically it's fantastic. That stripped-back West Coast beat, that aggressive drum machine patterns, the sharp, percussive sampling, like classic late 80s gangster rap. The production is intentionally bare bones, pushing the raw, rhythmic punch forward and letting the group's intensity dominate.
Yeah, this is the song that led to the FBI sending them the letter, didn't it? The cease and desist letter.
Yeah.
Which, I guess, ultimately ended up being a brilliant bit of publicity for them, didn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
They were labelled the world's most dangerous group.
Yeah, I think the police were kind of terrified of them, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think, the reports are a little bit sketchy. I mean, some even say in regards to the fireworks, it was actually the police that set them off.
Oh, okay.
Just to end the show.
Oh, okay.
Because obviously to mimic kind of gunshots, and then obviously that led to the audience leaving the venue, and the police could then get to the group. Right.
I think your favourite track on the album, Express Yourself?
Yeah, definitely, hands down one of my favourite tracks. And I think you'd agree with that, Jack, as well?
Yeah, it's such a strong anthem about self-expression, individuality. You can totally hear the jab at record labels trying to mould artists into something that they're not. I imagine NWA got that treatment early on, although judging by this record, they didn't really take notes from management.
Fun fact for you, Jack, on this one, it's the only track on the entire album that doesn't contain profanity. Maybe they figured, hey, let's give radio stations at least one track they won't immediately slap a warning label on. Even though it's one of the more danceable songs, it feels like they wanted the message front and centre. No effing or jeffing to distract from the point.
Who are they? But no, I really like the theme of sobriety and clarity in lines like, I don't smoke weed or cess because it's known to give a brother brain damage. If it's the whole idea of keeping your mind sharp so you can express yourself in a way that actually uplifts people. Almost like Dre saying, I can't drop knowledge if I can't remember where I left it.
Speaking of knowledge, I have to mention the sample. Charles Wright and the Watts, 103rd Street Rhythm Band's Express Yourself. Have you heard this, Jack?
I have to say, no, I haven't, to be honest.
It's an absolute classic. It's well worth a listen just on its own, and it's doubly worth it just to see how NWA flipped it onto this track.
And it's got a really good music video too, like, so symbolic. It ends with Dr. Dre being executed in an electric chair, which really leans into themes of systematic injustice and the idea that speaking out can come with real consequences. Light viewing. I think it's safe to say that NWA were by no means the originators of gangster rap. Artists like Schoolie D and Ice-T were successful proponents of what was originally called reality rap in the mid-1980s. But Straight Outta Compton is the album that turned the genre into a national phenomenon. And by the early 1990s, the West Coast, particularly Los Angeles, had become the epicenter of gangster rap.
Following the success of NWA, several solo artists emerged as prominent figures within the genre. Artists such as Snoop Dogg, Tupac Shakur, and Biggie Smalls achieved widespread acclaim, each bringing their unique style and perspective to the scene. So, Jack, I think it's really important we talk about the East Coast, West Coast, and kind of the environment.
Yeah.
So the release of Straight Outta Compton didn't just mark a major turning point in hip-hop, but it also became a huge moment in developing that East Coast, West Coast dynamic. It put West Coast gangster rap on the map, placing it in direct competition with the long, dominant East Coast sound.
Ooh, we got beef.
What?
Nothing.
Before this album dropped, the East Coast, especially New York, totally dominated the rap scene and was basically the centre of the hip-hop world. Groups like Run DMC, Public Enemy, and Eric B. and Rakim shaped the sound, the culture, everything.
Ooh, more beef.
Stop it, Jack.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, Straight Outta Compton introduced a new, raw, aggressively honest West Coast perspective. It highlighted the realities of life in Compton in a way that hadn't been heard on a national scale before. Interestingly, the real feud between the coasts didn't fully erupt until the mid-1990s with the famous Biggie versus Tupac conflict.
Now that's beef.
Sure. But the release of this album definitely shifted the balance of power. It established the West Coast as a serious force in gangster rap. Not long after, you had major West Coast artists and labels rising, like Death Row Records with Dr. Dre, Tupac and Snoop Dogg. The growing competition also brought rising tensions, eventually contributing to the tragic deaths of Tupac in 1996 and the notorious B.I.G. in 1997, and fueling the Death Row versus Bad Boy rivalry.
Plus, magazines like Vibe and The Source only stirred the pot more, framing the whole thing like a full-blown coastal war. So, despite their success, NWA were only together for a relatively brief time. By 1991, the group had disbanded and gone their separate ways. So, what happened to them? Well, Ice Cube left the group in 1989 due to disputes with manager Jerry Heller over money and royalties, particularly after he felt he was not being fairly compensated for his lyrical contributions. He released his debut solo album in 1990, America's Most Wanted, which has gone on to become regarded as a classic of the genre. In 1991, he also made his first movie appearance alongside Cuba Gooding Jr. in the critically acclaimed Boys in the Hood. He has gone on to appear in over 40 films, several of which are highly regarded. Friday, Three Kings, 21 Jump Street, for example. Also, some crap, it has to be said. Anaconda and Ride Along. Have you seen either of those, Adam?
Terrible.
He continues to be active in the music world too. At the time of recording, his most recent album is Man Up, released in September 2025. He is still very much considered as one of the OGs of gangster rap.
After the departure of Ice Cube, Eazy-E became the dominant voice on NWA's follow-up album. This album was less successful than Straight Outta Compton and criticised for being too cartoonish grotesque and missing the intelligence and wit of Ice Cube's lyrics. Disputes between the group led to them breaking up not long after. Eazy would release some solo work in the following years, but never scaled to the same heights of popularity he did with NWA, and began to focus more on running his label, Ruthless Records. Sadly, Eazy-E passed away in March 1995, shortly after being diagnosed with AIDS. He was just 30 years old.
MC Ren and DJ Yella continued to work under the Ruthless label, producing for other artists and also releasing their own records. After leaving Ruthless in 1995, DJ Yella embarked on a career directing adult movies, producing over 300 films over a 12-year period, and his XXX Games series is his most popular work. Just gonna make a note of that for later. For research purposes, obviously.
Of course. What about Dr. Dre? Well, after leaving Ruthless in 1991, he formed Death Row Records with the infamous Suge Knight, where he released his debut solo album, The Chronic, which featured guest vocals on a number of tracks from a young Snoop Dogg. After leaving Death Row in 1996, Dre formed his own label, Aftermath. The label gave debuts to a plethora of artists including Eminem, 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar. The label essentially moulded the sound and style of hip-hop music for the next 2 decades. In 2008, Dre co-founded the Beats by Dre range of headphones with Interscope Records CEO. They would sell the company to Apple in 2014 for a whopping $3 billion.
It's not bad, is it?
Not bad at all.
And then in 2015, the highly acclaimed biopic about the group's life was released.
Big fans of this film, aren't we, Jack?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the best music biopics we've seen in years. It's brilliantly directed, packed with fantastic performances, and obviously the music is unreal.
The biopic follows the rise, impact, and eventual breakup of NWA. It's directed by F. Gary Gray, who also directed Law Abiding Citizen, Be Cool, and Fast and Furious 8. 8 films.
Yeah, I think there's about 10 now, isn't
Is there?
Yeah.
I think I've only seen the first one.
Yeah, I think I have, yeah.
And then I grew up.
Yeah. I really liked how the film portrays the characters' real lives. The actors playing Dr. Dre, Eazy-E and MC Ren are spot on. They really highlight the unity in the group and later the tension that tore them apart. And Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr., what a performance. He looks exactly like him, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. And for me, the historical context really stood out. The film shows the conditions that led to NWA's emergence, that systemic racism, police brutality and social inequality. It really doesn't shy away from the harsh realities that really shape their music.
The film nails the look and feel of the late 80s and early 90s Los Angeles.
Straight Outta Compton was even nominated for an Oscar, Best Original Screenplay, but unfortunately lost out to a film called Spotlight. That
is a film about the Boston Globe newspaper that uncovered a history of paedophilia in the Catholic Church in the city.
Thanks for that, Jack. Bringing the tone down.
Anyway, carry on.
But it did win big at the African American Film Critics Association Awards, winning Best Picture, Best Ensemble Cast, and Best Supporting Actor for Jason Mitchell as Eazy-E.
Which is fair. If Jason Mitchell looked any more like Eazy-E, we'd need to check his birth certificate. So that was Straight Outta Compton by NWA.
Really enjoyed that, Jack.
Yeah, me too. And also do remember to give us a follow on @onemoremusicpod, so you stay up to date with all the latest episodes. But in the meantime, my name's Jack.
My name's Adam.
And we'll see you next time.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.